welcome. So hopefully we're all kind of trickling over from Alex's meditation. So just, I guess, taking the first little bit as we start to trickle in, to try and carry with us that intention of presence that we were practicing with the meditation and breathwork component. Before we start moving here, I just wanted to mention, in case you missed it over on Alex's page, we're going to be creating this same experience, but it's going to be 3 hours on May 2nd, so that's a Saturday. So you get to dive a little bit deeper, and it'll be a retreat that we've called Nurture, so just about caring for yourself, nurturing all those different components, so body, mind, spirit. So if you're looking for more details on that, you'll head over to Yoga Addict's website at some point. So for that intention of presence in our practice, we're going to move a little slower today. So seeing if we can really soak in those moments of transition instead of always thinking about the next place that we're headed, knowing that there is no final destination, that it all really is just one huge transition. So keeping that in mind as we start to move and just observing what comes up. So it's not about an expectation of right or wrong in the moment, but just it is exactly what it is, and can we tune into that a little bit more as we move the body. So I'm going to invite you to start seated on your mat, and you can choose a seated position that's comfortable for you. And if that means that you're going to sit yourself up on a chair or a block or a stool or something so it's a little bit more comfortable for the hips or the back, then that's exactly the shape that you're going to come into, so that you're feeling comfortable and you can come into stillness. And then so maybe our eyes close. Maybe they remain open if that's more comfortable. And then just start to notice where we can adjust so that the whole body feels as comfortable as possible. So maybe slightly different placement of the legs. Maybe we're wiggling the hips a little bit, give the shoulders a little bit of a shake. See if the length of our spine can get a little bit longer, so you have that nice rooted foundation through the sit bones while the crown of your head is reaching up towards the sky. And then we're going to take the palms of our hands together and then place our thumbs onto our heart center or our sternum, so that as we breathe, we feel our heart space expand towards our hands. And as we exhale, we're feeling that space soften. Found it really helpful to connect with that breath that we did in the meditation, you can use that here. Or just let the breath be easy, so we're not forcing it to be anything other than what it already is. Riding that wave, so expanding with each inhale. Softening with each exhale. We'll take about 5 more breaths here. One more nice full inhale. And one more complete long exhale. So we're going to see if we can move a little slower than we're used to. Just take our arms down by our sides and let our palms face up towards the sky. We're going to use our inhale to lift our arms up to the ceiling, but maybe take about 5 seconds. So inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. As we reach 5, connect our palms. Take just as long to bring your hands back down. So exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're finding my pace too fast or too slow, you're just going to do your own pace. So inhale, take your arms wide, reach up, take your full inhale to lengthen up, move a little slower than we're used to. Connect our palms, full exhale to bring our hands down through center. So the next few rounds are going to be at your own rhythm here. Really think about expanding out as we inhale, so feel that energy down through the fingertips, the length of the arms, the sides of the body as we reach up. As we exhale, gather everything in. So exhale. After your next circle, so let's take one more. We're going to just pause back in our table pose, so lengthening out your spine, tailbone lengthens out behind you, crown of your head reaches forward, and then come into our child's pose. So we can take our knees wider than our hips if we'd like, big toes touch behind us, sink our hips back towards our heels, and then arms might reach forward, or you might stack your hands out in front of you and rest your forehead down towards stack our hands at the top of our mat. Keep our right leg lengthened out towards the back of our mat, and then we're going to slide our left knee wide towards the left. So your knee can come in line with your hip or a little further back or a little further forward. If you're feeling it a little bit too much on the inner knee, maybe cushion up that spot. So place a towel or a pillow underneath the inside of your left knee. And then you can rest your forehead down towards the backs of your hands like a little pillow, or you can cactus your arms, so take your elbows wide. And then just let one side of your head rest down. You can use your belly expanding towards the ground as you inhale as something to ground your focus on. Or maybe just let your focus kind of soften and disperse throughout the entire body. So can we let everything get a little heavier? And then we're going to place our left hand down near our left shoulder. Lift the front of our chest up away from the ground. We're sliding our right arm underneath us. The right fingertips are going to reach over towards the left. You can face your right palm up towards the sky or right palm down to the ground, depending on what you prefer. And then you might take your left forearm, place it parallel with the top of your mat, and then let your forehead rest down towards your forearm. You can reach your left arm forward and bring your forehead down towards the ground. You're thinking of letting your chest get heavy towards your right bicep here. Thinking of opening through the back of the right shoulder. We'll take a couple more breaths here, so just easy inhales and exhales. And then place your left hand down. Slide your right arm out from underneath you gently. Let your left leg lengthen back out towards the back of your mat. Table pose. Let's rise up to find all fours. Set up that nice stable table and then reach your left fingertips forward. Send your right leg out behind you. So inhale, lengthen out. Full exhale, so maybe 3, 4, even 5 seconds to draw your knee and your elbow underneath you. Take just as long to expand out, so almost like you're moving through quick stand. Right foot presses out, left fingertips reach forward. Slowly draw in. Think about making this almost tight little ball as we contract everything to center. And then expand all the way up. Next couple rounds here, just your own pace. Really press into your right palm. Feel stable and strong in that right shoulder. Next time, left arm reaches forward, right leg presses out behind us. Keep that right leg where it is. Place your left hand down underneath your shoulder, and then ball of your right foot comes down to the back of your mat. Supported side plank to the right, so let your right heel fall in. Left foot kicks over towards the left, right arm reaches up. Either keep reaching right arm up or explore reaching right fingertips overhead, so side body stretch. And then we're going to place our right palm back down underneath our shoulder. Keep our right leg lengthened out to the back of our mat. Left knee is underneath our hip. Come onto your forearms, so choose the variation in your forearms that works for the shoulders, and then press into that right foot. Step your left foot back to meet it, either effort with your knees lifted, or maybe a little bit less effort with your knees softened. 3 easy breaths here. And then Sphinx pose, so knees down. Hips down, tops of your feet to the mat. Heart draws forward. Just like before, we're going to do that little stretch for the neck, so let your chin draw down towards your heart. And then roll your left ear over towards your left shoulder. Take a couple breaths to maybe lift your chin up towards the sky. And then we'll bring our chin back down through center. Right ear, right shoulder, opening down the left side of the neck. Come back down to center with your chin when you're ready. Lift your gaze forward. Stack your hands, rest your forehead down to the backs of your hands, and this time slide your right knee wide towards the right. And then choose the option with your hands, so either staying as they are or cactus shape. And then just try and take your gaze in the opposite direction that you did on the first side. And then we're going to bring our forehead to center for gazing off to the side. Place your right palm down near your right shoulder so you can lift up your chest. And now left arm slides underneath you. So almost like that threaded needle shape with your left arm. Maybe take your right forearm parallel with the top of your mat and rest your forehead to your forearm. You can always use a pillow underneath the head here if you prefer. And let's breathe into that space behind the left shoulder. Forehead up, place your right palm down, slide your left arm out from underneath you, send your right leg out behind you, and then just press up to your table. So 2 options to finish our practice today. You can come just laying down on your back, maybe bend your knees and land your feet, or if you have a wall available, you can come into your legs up the wall pose. So if we're looking for a suggestion on how to get into this shape, it can be easiest if you take a seat and put your hip right up next to the wall, and then just come to lay on your back so that your bum ends up close to the wall, and you roll onto your back and lengthen your legs up. So you can place a cushion underneath your low back here. You can bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall open. Just any variation of this shape or reclined that's comfortable to finish your practice in. Hands can stay by your sides, or you can cactus your arms so elbows draw wide, backs of our hands rest heavy, palms face up towards the sky. We're just going to use these last few moments of the practice to start by noticing what we notice. So notice how we feel. Notice the sensations of the body. And then as best as we can, let go of that desire to observe and collect information, and instead can we just be present for these final moments. Of breath, slowly transition out of whatever shape that you're in, and let's meet seated. But you're going to take your time and just get there in a way that makes sense for you. So maybe about 5 rounds of breath or so. And then whenever you arrive to seated, we're just going to meet almost the same way that we started our practice. So something that's comfortable and easy. All take a nice big round of breath once we get there. So belly and ribcage expand out, fill our lungs with our inhale. Exhale completely. So thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to send me a message or get in touch with us. From here, you're going to be heading over to Yoga Attic's page. So that's just yoga and then Attic, A-T-T-I-C. Be sure to check out the details for our retreat on May 2nd. And I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your afternoon. I will see you over on Tina's page. You're welcome. So good to see some familiar names.